Yo, before we get into the video, I'ma let you in on a little secret of mine about these Materwelon Madness videos. The way I produce these is I scripted them out, produced thumbnails and recorded these throughout the past 10 days. But before editing and uploading, I typically redo the recording because I'm often not satisfied with the audio quality. My microphone is a bit trash, I'm sure you noticed. I'm trying to save up for a better one. And I planned on recording and editing this video yesterday evening, but yesterday me and a friend of mine ended up getting into a bit of a medical emergency. I'm fine now, it was nothing I couldn't handle, but if you spend your entire day in pain at a hospital, you don't really feel like recording a YouTube video after. Well, unless you're a vlogger, then you've essentially made a viral hit. But point being, I didn't have it in me to record and post this yesterday, so it's a day late. But don't you worry, I'm gonna make it up to you with another one. I'm sounding like DJ Khaled. So there will be a second video coming out later today, so we will be back on schedule. I'm excited for you to see it, and let's get into the actual video. What's up? Welcome back to another video about peace, love and positivity. I'm kidding, of course. It's only been like 3 days back on the platform for me, and we're already talking about racism. Oh, how I've missed YouTube. So recently, I don't know if you have noticed, but I'm pretty sure you have, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp had an extremely publicized defamation trial over the failed marriage, and the verdict resulting in Johnny Depp winning the trial did not sit well with a specific group of people. Specifically those who support Amber Heard, obviously, but some of them have really taken it too far. I can accept morons and simps on Twitter dismissing all the evidence against Amber Heard just because they want to pretend like their queen wasn't a toxic abuser. At the end of the day, there's nothing we can do against that. There will always be that group of people. However, what I can't accept is people that start going way over the line and accuse Johnny Depp of blatant untrue lies. And unfortunately, ladies and gents, the newest narrative that's being spun by Amber Heard supporters is, unfortunately, you guessed it by the title, that Johnny Depp's most well-known acting role, Captain Jack Sparrow, has actually been part of a deeply racist movie franchise all along, making the character itself a racist sociopath. So the absolute genius that came up with this take is Twitter user Michelle Delver. Of course it's on Twitter, cause where else would it be? She's a Stanford professor. Once you see this, you're gonna wonder how the hell a place like Stanford has one of these people teaching their students. And apparently some sort of political activist, which is in most cases a telltale sign that you're dealing with someone incredibly unbearable. Anyway, she decided to tweet out, Captain Jack and Pirates of the Caribbean whitewashed and erased slaves and slavery from the 18th century Caribbean, where its practice was probably the most cruel in the world. Pirates were often far from the freedom fighters the film portrayed, but were slaveholders themselves. In case you need another reason to hate Johnny Derp. Wow, that's really childish for an apparent Stanford professor, by the way. The Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is deeply racially problematic. In some, even the fictional character Derp's fans love and think is a real depiction of Derp himself is almost certainly a racist sociopath. So first of all, I am incredibly shocked to learn about the fact that Pirates of the Caribbean is apparently not historically accurate, according to this incredibly smart and based woman. I'm just sitting here wondering how this modern day Einstein reached that conclusion. You know, like, what could have possibly given away that this franchise isn't exactly historically accurate? Was it the literal talking octopus man? The totally realistic ghost ships with ghost crews on them? Or maybe the living skeletons that are running around? Or maybe even the, I personally assume to be totally real, supernatural curses that all characters have to face? Now listen, before we go any further, I need to point out one thing that I want everybody to understand here. Johnny Depp is not a perfect man, and I do think nothing can ever be as black and white as the media portrays it to be. An abusive relationship 95% of the time involves two toxic and abusive people, which is why I don't think Johnny Depp is entirely innocent. But Amber Heard is the one who got caught lying in court under oath. We have evidence of Amber Heard abusing Johnny Depp, and we cannot say the same thing for the opposite scenario. So just know that even though I am defending Johnny Depp and his most popular acting role in this video, and I publicly support Johnny Depp, I realize that he is not entirely innocent either, but he is innocent in this instance specifically. Okay, let's get back to speaking about the historical accuracy of Pirates of the Caribbean. Wow, that's a sentence I never thought I'd ever say. Look, if Pirates of the Caribbean aimed to be a realistic, grounded depiction of 18th century piracy, and then they completely overlooked the massive part which slavery played during that period of time, I would understand where she's coming from. But this is a family-friendly fantasy movie. The historical context is entirely irrelevant here. I don't think a single person that watches this franchise was like, huh, I really know what this is missing. Slaves! Also, even if it was deeply racially problematic, which it isn't, how would that be Johnny Depp's fault exactly? It's not like he wrote and produced the movie, he just starred in it. To be honest, I really hate this new internet trend where every time a movie writes an antagonistic and purposely unlikable character, some people will go out of their way to harass the person that's just playing that character. And the same line of thinking is what Dauber is using here. Also, here's another interesting thing. She's out here saying that Johnny Depp's character, Captain Jack Sparrow himself, is in fact a racist sociopath. Well, Mrs. Stanford Professor, I don't know about you, but I clearly remember a specific plot point where Jack Sparrow liberated a slave ship, which in turn put him out of favor with the other captain, and caused others to look down on him. Now, I obviously can't show you parts of this movie here, because this video will get struck down by copyright, but luckily someone on Twitter was nice enough to post a screen caption of this scene. We had a deal, Jack. I contacted you to deliver cargo on my behalf. You chose to liberate it. And he responds with, people aren't cargo, mate. So how is his character racist if he liberates ships full of slaves? That makes literally no sense. Also, you can literally go onto any plot summary website for Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's clearly stated there. As Beckett's employee, Jack searched for the mystical island of Kerma and its legendary treasure until he decided to betray Beckett and keep the island and its inhabitants safe from Beckett and his slave traders. When Beckett contracted him to transport a cargo of slaves to the Bahamas, Jack chose to liberate them and steal the wench from Beckett. There you have it. How can he be a racist sociopath if he protects people from slave traders and then even liberates the ships where people keep them imprisoned? Also, she says Pirates of the Caribbean fans think Jack Sparrow is a realistic depiction of Johnny Depp himself. Yeah, right, if I just find one person above the age of 12 who thinks that Johnny Depp behaves and acts exactly like this guy, I will hand on heart go to Stanford and beg for forgiveness outside of their campus. It's not gonna happen. Last time I checked, Johnny Depp wasn't a pirate. Then she tweets, most Hollywood films are far too white, but the omission is particularly glaring in a film that is literally about the time and place at the dark heart of the Atlantic slave trade, yet all the main characters are white, although pirates are portrayed as anti-capitalist crusaders. Alright, first of all, there are black characters in these movies, so let's not even start this conversation. And even if there were no black people, it still wouldn't make it racist, because perhaps that's part of the fictional world the movie takes place in. For instance, in Attack on Titan, there are no black people where the main cast live, and that plays into the plot later on. So are you gonna assume that Attack on Titan is racist now too? Come on now. And also, are you implying that you need your black characters to be slaves? Because I am absolutely fine with the black characters in these movies being regular people. But this non-black woman wants them to be slaves for the sake of historical accuracy. Yeah, good job fighting racism. Mark Hyman tweets, who is going to tell this Stanford professor that the movie was make-believe? There is no Davy Jones octopus head pirate, no Black Pearl ship, all made up, fantasy, untrue. She responds to this with, there are more squid men and ghost skeleton white people. By the way, how are you gonna identify a skeleton as white in this film series than slaves or freed or otherwise? This is a very white film even for Hollywood, given the fact that it is set in the midst of the Atlantic slave trade. Class dismissed. God, I hate this arrogance. Class dismissed. She's trying to pretend like she's better than the people that argue against her. Even though she's only spitting verbal diarrhea, it is so pathetic. But anyway, I think we've already proven our point. There's absolutely no way this fictional fantasy movie whitewashed anything about slavery, because it isn't supposed to be historically accurate in the slightest. And Johnny Depp's character itself isn't racist either, because he actively puts himself at risk to fight for slaves in these movies. And obviously I'm not even gonna entertain the argument that Johnny Depp's character Jack Sparrow is somehow a real depiction of himself. Alright, that's all I got for today. See ya.